Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie is right around the corner, guys. It is literally only a couple of months away, and I don't know if you can tell, but I am beyond excited. I am so hyped for this movie. It's going to be so good. If you didn't know, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is literally my favorite game in the whole franchise, which is why today I wanted to take a look at a lot of speculation and fan theories and things like that I've been seeing going around a lot lately. So I just wanted to talk about like speculation on what might happen in the movie, what new things might be revealed, what the plot's going to be like, just anything really to do with the movie and what's going on with it, because I think that this kind of stuff is really interesting to think about, and it's really fun to speculate about, and it's also really fun to engage with you guys and what you think. So comment down below what you think of these, if you agree with them, if you have your own theories. I'd love to hear your guys' theories and thoughts and speculations and stuff. But yeah, without further ado, let's get it straight into it. Starting off with one that I feel like is probably the most likely to actually happen, which is a deeper dive into William Aftons' origins. So in the first movie, we did not really get a crazy look at his origins. We honestly, we all knew it was him, but for most people, they didn't even know it was him until that big reveal at the end when he came out wearing the mask. So I feel like in this movie we're going to get a deeper look into his backstory, with him and Vanessa. I say this because we got this one behind the scenes photo where it's William Afton and Vanessa in like a house, I think. So I think we're going to get like a really deep dive into his backstory and growing up with Vanessa, because, we've been told it happened, but we haven't actually seen any of it. So I think they'd really want to do a deep dive into that. And I really hope they do, because I think William Afton is such an interesting character from what we know through the games and the books and things. So seeing more of his movie identity and stuff like that in his past, and I'm like, imagine if we got to see the missing kids incident or something. Like, obviously no one wants to see kids get killed, but like William being evil and stuff, being able to actually see the Springlock incident happen in real time was amazing. That was the first time we probably got to see it. So I really hope we get to see just more of William in the new movie, and a deeper dive into his origin. That's it about, really. So my second one is, how are they going to go about the movie? Oh my god. How are they going to go about the location? Because obviously, in the first movie, the location is like abandoned, but it's kept in good shape. Like, it's not in use anymore. So how are they going to go about this one? Is it going to be another building that's just left to rot, kind of? And I feel like this is pretty likely. We have gotten a look. I think Dorco revealed a look at the set, and it wasn't like a full set like the first movie. It was just kind of an entrance. So I wonder what they're gonna do about that. If it's gonna be like, was this one left to rot as well, and it's just like still standing, and then there's some sort of new guard. But then it begs the question, like, how are the animatronics, like, why would they even exist or anything? That's what I'm really curious about. Like, why do these animatronics exist in this timeline? Like, do they predate the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 animatronics? Are they the same, like, souls and stuff? Like, I'm very, very curious to find out. So yeah, that one was a bit of a weird one, but I just really want to know, like, what's going on and how they're going to explain that, because I think it's a really interesting kind of angle of the franchise that we haven't seen much of, especially with the movies. Anyway, my next one, which is one that I'm really excited for, is that the puppet is going to be central to this movie. I'm talking like main character getting so much screen time. So I think that the puppet was in the first movie, like somewhere in the shadows, hidden somewhere. I think that the puppet, like the games, are going to do the same thing, where the puppet actually existed for a lot longer but wasn't introduced until the second movie. So in that little teaser trailer we did hear the puppets like like what you hear when you wind up the music box. So without a doubt the puppet's going to be in the movie, but I think the puppet is going to have a really big role in this one. I think the puppet's maybe going to work with Michael and Vanessa, because the puppet is inherently a good guy, I guess you could say. But maybe, this movie will be all about like the puppet teaming up with Mike and Vanessa to save the souls, and then, I don't know, the third one is about taking down William Afton or something. Because I feel like they're only going to do 3 movies, Or if they do more, it'll be like a different story, like security breach or something. That'd be cool. But yeah, I don't know. I know for a fact. I feel it in my soul. I know the puppet is going to be central to this movie, like so incredibly important. And I really hope it does happen because I think the puppet is an amazing character throughout the franchise. Like just such a cool role, and everything about the puppet is so good. So I mean, this one is a prediction, but it also is me kind of being like, oh my god, I really want to see the puppet. Anyway, the next one is, so in the first movie, we finally did see the spring locking scene happen in like real time. So what if in this one we finally got to see the bite of 87? Oh my goodness gracious. Like, they literally have a Mangle animatronic. How could they not do a bite of 87 scene? Like, they literally have to do this. If they don't, I'll go to Scott Cawthon's house and punch him in the face for not including it, because it is literally like so perfect. Because I don't think we know who did the bite of 87, but we've always known that it was something to do with the second game. So I do think it was Mangle. Mangle makes the most sense. You know, Mangle's jump scare is like biting you, coming down from the roof, and like, just look at that mouth. Like, come on. Who else would do the bite of 87? So, yeah, I'm really hoping that we see that happen. And I feel like they wouldn't hesitate because, like, you know, spoilers for FNAF 1 movie, but we did see that scene of Max getting chopped in half. So, I feel like, and Scott has said he wants this one to be a bit scarier, so I feel like they would show it. They maybe might not show, like, all the bloods and brains and stuff. I mean, that's just gross, but I think they will definitely show an animatronic biting a person, and I think it will be spectacular. And I think if they want to do like the Fredbear route and show that and stuff, they kind of have to show that bite happening too, so they might as well just get it in now while they can, you know, and start off with this bite of 87. Yeah, I just think it's perfect. Like, Mangle is literally in this one. They just have to. They can't not. And that also leads on to my next one, which is I think that the animatronics are going to be a lot more aggressive. So, you know, I feel like in the first movie they weren't very aggressive other than like a handful of scenes. It was more that they were shown as they're just kids in these suits and they do these horrible things, but they don't really realize what they're doing because of that drawing that Abby changed at the last second. So I think that they're going to be a lot more aggressive in this one, and I think I'm right because, like, from what we've seen like Toy Chica yanking that guy into a room, and then we've seen Bonnie holding up like a screwdriver or something. I think we're definitely going to see a lot more violence and just generally the animatronics being a lot more aggressive. Like, maybe it won't be the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 animatronics, it'll be the toy animatronics being more aggressive. I mean, that's what we've seen in the trailers, is them being really aggressive. So yeah, I think there's a good chance that we're going to see that in this movie. I think that'll be what a lot of the plot revolves around. Maybe not the puppet, but I think every other animatronic will be really like violent and wanting, you know, out to kill people and get them. And I am here for it. I'm excited. You know, I really enjoyed seeing the animatronics in the first movie, but I feel like a lot of people agree that it was kind of disappointing that they weren't like, you know, out for blood and trying to kill people all the time. It was more that they were just silly, and like, that's fine. I didn't mind it. I love that fort scene, but I think it would have been really cool if we did see the animatronics a bit more involved and violent, because that's what we know them for from the games. That's what they're known for. They're known for hunting us down and jump scaring us and eating us. Gross. So then we have another one. So Phone Guy might get a bigger role. I really want this to happen. I think that having Phone Guy not in the first game was such a missed opportunity. I don't know if it's like Scott doesn't want his voice in the movie or something, and I guess in the first one it wouldn't have really made sense because, like, you know, William Afton or Steve Raglan already kind of told him everything he needed to know, so I feel like it would make sense if they didn't want to include a Phone Guy character. But I hope they do, because Phone Guy is such an integral part of Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, I absolutely love that dude, you know. So, yeah, hopefully we see that in some capacity. But if not the end of the world. This one I'm not as fussed about, you know. I would understand if they can't really find a way to include it. But let's hope they do anyway, because I don't know about you guys, but I love Phone Guy. Phone Guy is my boy. Anyway, then This is going to be our last one for this video, but this one is probably the most exciting one, at least in my eyes. I think this is the most exciting, and probably most likely too, is that we will get a potential tease for Springtrap, or maybe even see him himself. So in the first movie, obviously we just had Spring Bonnie, you know, it's Springtrap before he got all gross and green and disgusting, and like it made sense. It was like he was using his suit from back in the day when he used to kill kids, which is horrible. But we saw at the very end that he got like spring trapped, and then he was like hidden away in a kitchen or something, just sitting there left to rot, which is very similar to how it happens in the games. Is he gets caught in that like spare room, and then he's sitting there for like 30 years until they make Fazbear Frights. I think obviously Springtrap will be in this movie in some degree, maybe not a very big role like he had in the first game, but I think he's definitely going to have some sort of inclusion. And I think that inclusion will be a tease for him turning into Springtrap. Like, he probably won't be completely Springtrap yet, but it'll be like halfway there. Like, the suit's starting to green and become gross, and I don't know, maybe his muscles starting to combine with the suit, which is so disgusting. But yeah, no, I think that could be a very likely thing that we see. At the very least, it'll be like an after credit scene or something where it teases Springtrap. Because I feel like the third game, the third movie, it has to be like a Springtrap central one, you know? I feel like it's such a missed opportunity to not do something like that. Because I don't think they're going to go into like FNAF 4 territory, or if they did, it would probably be in the third movie, but not the central plot. It would just be kind of touched on. I don't think they're going to do anything sister location. They might show off like Baby and Elizabeth or something. And then I don't think they're going to do FNAF 6. I think they're going to cut the game timeline kind of here. I think that they said they wanted to do a spin-off show or something, and I'd be fine with that. Like, that'd be cool, but I just don't want them to milk it on too long, because I feel like the games get really confusing once you're done with Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and then it's like 4, it's like, what the hell are the nightmares? And then 5 is like, why the hell is there this underground place with these like super futuristic robots? I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I love Five Nights at Freddy's and all the story, and I always will, but I just think it gets a bit confusing. At a certain point, that I feel like you have to really understand Five Nights at Freddy's, and they're going to be like, oh, moviegoers aren't going to care about all this. They're just going to want to know, you know, the kind of the bare bones version of the story, and that's fine. I'm completely fine with that, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I know that what's his face, the guy who plays William Afton, he is signed to a 3 contract deal, I think, so he has to make 3 movies. So I guess they have 3 planned, and then maybe we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. But these movies are great. I love the movies. I love seeing the animatronics come to life. I love everything about them. So if they wanted to make more, you know, I'll always be there day one. I'll buy all the merch. I'll see the movie. Everything about it. I love it. It's so cool. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have your own thoughts on these or your own little theories, I would love to see them in the comments. I try to respond to all the comments, so please post your little thoughts and stuff. I really want to see them. I find them very interesting to see. And I guess we'll have to come back to this video once the movie comes out and see what was right and what was wrong. But other than that, have a great day, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, because if you don't, I will literally kill you. Anyway, peace out. See you later.